What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at Infection-Free Zone. This is actually a really cool title. I think this game is going to be rad. I've been very interested in watching it. So effectively, this is the newest title from the developers of 911 Operator and 112 Operator, where effectively what they've done is they've taken the idea of you having a real-world city that has been taken from kind of like satellite information, and they've decided, what can we do with this? Which actually I think is going to be the key to the company's kind of continued success, is that like the whole police and emergency services thing was interesting and a cool way to show off the technology that they were currently working on, but taking that and transposing it into fantasy realms where you can take your hometown or the place that you are from in the world and convert it into like a mutant or zombie apocalypse that needs to be defended is actually a very appealing idea. So anyways, Infection-Free Zone. What is it? For the people that have never played 911 Operator, this is a game that uses satellite data in order to recreate a real map of real cities in the world, and you can do any city that you want. I think it's hooked up to Google Maps or something. I don't know exactly what services they're using, but in 112 Operator and 911 Operator, you could play Sacramento, you could play Dallas, you could play Austin, you could play Omaha, you could play pretty much any town you wanted, so long as it was like larger than like, 10, 20,000 people effectively. In fact, I was able to play my hometown in 911 Operator because we had like 120,000 people, and it was pretty cool. It was really fun being able to like solve crimes and have crises inside a place where I grew up. Infection-Free Zone is that exact same idea, except it is now a zombie apocalypse, and all of the houses and all of the businesses in your satellite hometown are going to be abandoned, and you've got to scavenge them for resources with soldiers that are equipped with various weapons and squads, and you've got to set up perimeters and build walls around areas and effectively do what the governor did in The Walking Dead and create a safe haven that is impenetrable to the endless hordes that are going to be gnawing on your gates. And I think it's a really fun idea. So the developers were very kind. They sent over a early access demo of the game for me to take a look at. This is a very early development build, so that's going to be something you want to keep in mind as we get further on into the nitty-gritty of this game. But without further ado, let's do the spiel. Down below in the description, you'll find the link to the game. It's not available yet, but you can wishlist it. On top of that, you'll also find a link to my Discord and my Twitch stream down there, just in case you wanted to give feedback, hang out, or talk to me live. But let's go ahead and play the game, shall we?
The world as we know it is gone. What we called the mad virus appeared out of nowhere. It made people turn extremely violent, aggressive, and unrestrainable. Soon later, the infected became bloodthirsty, more like vampires than human. There was chaos, panic, and war for survival. Desperate people were just as dangerous as the virus itself. Even our loved ones could become a threat. The infection spread quickly throughout the entire globe. Every region, every country, every city. Drastic measures were taken to get rid of the infected, but they all failed. The last chance for those who seemed immune was to hide in underground shelters, ones that we improvised in garages and basements, loaded with food, water, and air filtration systems. These were the places where we survived, sealed from the outside. For so long, we waited for any signal, any info that a cure had been found, or the situation stabilized. Instead, we listened as the world grew quiet. Our resources were becoming depleted. Life support systems were failing. And just as we were losing all hope, we received a distant call.
To all survivors, the infection is in decline. Seek others and rebuild.
This was the impulse we needed. There were others out there. We could come back to the surface. No more hiding. From the ruins of the old world, we will build our new home.
Okay, so they're going to get us set up with a little bit of a tutorial right here in this, like, kind of promo build.
Operator, this is first squad leader. We made our way out. The neighborhood looks deserted. We'll have to scavenge the nearby buildings for any useful resources.
Okay. So
Okay,
what we can
find
do,
something to eat as fast as possible.
the game's dialogue is actually reasonably decent, and I think I recognize a lot of the voices from 911 operator. But anyways, the voice acting is actually fairly decent. You can push pause the game whenever you want with the spacebar, and this is the game world. We've got ourselves a squad right here. These are basically going to be a squad of soldiers that are rolling around. They all have no armor on right now, and they have pistols. I assume at some point they are going to be customizable when you make your squads to increase their attack power and things of that nature. But for right now, we only have one objective, and that's going to be to search houses. So let's go ahead and send our squad on over here, and as you can see, our little squad of soldiers is going to head on over to this area, and they're going to start scavenging this house with a little progress meter. We'll go ahead and speed up the game real fast so that it happens quicker. We found 2 units of food right there. That's good because the initial objective wants us to find 4 groups of food, maybe even 5 if we're feeling really ambitious. So let's get to it. This building right here is now, come on, done. There it is. So we found enough food. When you have your inventory completely and totally full, they will automatically go back to the HQ in order to drop that off. This game does have a time cycle, so you really only function during the day because at night, the zombies get pretty thick.
Crates are in the HQ. There might be some more resources nearby. I suggest we scavenge some more locations.
Okay,
Great.
sounds good.
Any stock will come in handy.
We'll go ahead and move on out.
Chief, I will speak on behalf of the other citizens. Let us go and adapt the buildings to suitable shelters, so we won't spend a single more night underground.
Okay, sounds good to
Yes,
me.
that sounds
If
like
we've
a
got
good
the
idea.
resources, we can actually convert these buildings too, which is a system that I very much like because it allows you to recreate the destroyed world in your own image. It's fairly basic for right now in this build, but basically if we click on this house right here and then we go to this hammer, we can convert this house over here across the street in this little cul-de-sac into a shelter so long as we have what looks like 1.6 wood. So let's go ahead and give that the okay. And it looks like that's going to provide... Oh, it's going to cost us 22. Gotcha. Okay, I thought it was going to take 1.6. These guys have already completed their search, so we'll go ahead and... I suppose we could send them on down the block. I want to make sure that I've searched everything in this little area first before we go too far out into the regions. Let's see what we've got here. We found nothing, so that's a bummer. We'll send them on over to here, and we'll see if we can grab anything from there. Nothing inside of there. You guys get on over to that side, and we've got a transmission.
If we want to build anything else, we need more resources. Send workers to chop down some trees. Maybe we could build some palisades with that too.
Yeah, walls are one of those things that I think are really kind of like the anti-zombie solution. Fences, walls, all that kind of good stuff.
Okay.
If you want to chop down
Let's gather
trees,
some wood.
there's basically just harvesting things down here like you would have in a game like Banished. We can tell them to gather wood. Realistically, I'd like to gather wood, so to my thinking, the way, if I was running this place, what I would do is I would effectively decide that these buildings are what we're going to take and no further. And then from there, we would focus on knocking down every other building, chopping down every single tree, and removing all forms of cover for about, I would say about 300 meters or so in every direction outside of the final building that comprises the border of our territory. That's to deprive the enemy of cover, and that is also to give us a very, very long line of sight, effectively. 300-meter shot's a pretty good shot right there for anybody that would be attacking the settlement, and if they get any closer than that, they're wide out in the open, and we're going to have guard towers and things of that nature as well. And so that's kind of what I would do and how I would kind of approach it. Let's go ahead and get that building down there. Chopping down trees should be fairly simple. We'll go ahead and say... Let's say all these trees over here. We'll start on this side. And it's just going to put a running job.
Smoke. It's coming out of a building. I think there might be some people there. I recommend we go and investigate.
Okay.
Let's investigate.
Oh, it's much further away this time. The last time I played the game, the place that I had to investigate was effectively like right here. It was really, really easy to get to. That one's a little bit more complicated, especially considering the fact that it's almost dark. Like, we're at about 3 in the afternoon right now. This is going to be a running job. If you want to see its progress, you just click on the icon, and it'll tell you right here. It says there's 33 wood in this area, and we are 0% of the way to getting all of that wood. If you look, you can see that it sent out a whole bunch of our random citizens in order to chop down said trees. And so we still have 14 people that are available for management. It looks like a lot of the tabs are going to be disabled as of right now. But what it looks like to me is that there's going to be research, there's going to be actual job assignments, so you can tell people to be like wood choppers or soldiers or stuff like that. It looks like there's going to be laws and possibly trading in between settlements and in between factions. I can't say that that's 100% true because this is just a very, very early look at the game, but that's kind of where I would go with it if I was working on the game as well. These guys have had a very unproductive day when it comes to finding things out in the hinterland, unfortunately. Most of these buildings appear to be very, very picked clean. And as you can see, when the sun goes down, all of our minions are going to start coming back to the headquarters and effectively bedding down for the night.
Sir, the sun is getting low. We don't know what's going to happen during the night. We can continue our scavenging operations in the dark.
Okay, that's fine. Everybody get back to HQ. If you don't have a gun, you should not be really outside the HQ. There's not going to be too many zombies on the first night that we're going to have to deal with, so I'm not going to stress about it too much. I am going to scavenge all night since these guys don't have fatigue or anything else that you have to worry about. These houses are actually pretty dead. There's not a whole lot around here. We do have zombies over there. As you can see, they're moving around and kind of, you know, sifting around, looking for our survival guys, looking to suck our blood, but we're not going to allow that. Hey, we found a food. Nice. Very nice. What else do we find inside of here? Do we find anything good? Let's get on in here real fast. And now that day has broken, and we don't have to deal with zombies anymore, let's go get this house real fast.
But there are sure to be some infected around here. We should build some defenses before the next nightfall.
Okay.
Agree.
Sounds like a plan to me. We'll probably put a tower up on kind of like the northern border of this area since it seems like most of the zombies were coming from that direction. I'm guessing that's where we're going to get hit from. These guys are going to go find another grouping, and to make another squad, I think we click on this panel right here, and then, yeah, it just cost us 4 guys. I don't know how many guns or, like, what we have in our stockpile. Apparently, you can also have expeditions so that you can go to neighboring areas if you want to, but it's not in this build yet, but that is a really, really, really cool idea. I like that a lot. Like, with this idea right here, there is the potential to add, like, a lot of really, really cool interactive ingredients that can go in between locations and all that kind of stuff. Let's go ahead and start off the tower because I want to make sure that it's done by the end of the night. We don't have a whole lot of buildings we can build for right now, but I think a tower right there. Oh,
Chief, we found some survivors. They've been living in terrible conditions for the last few years. We could bring them in, but will we be able to feed them?
Yeah, we'll bring them in. That sounds good. Yeah, bring them back. Humanity is to be preserved. We will put a tower right here, and we will actually kind of use these houses over here as like a de facto wall, basically. So we'll try to get like walls built up in between those locations just to see how it goes. These guys found a gun and some ammo. Nice. Come drop that back off at the base. You don't really have any other things that you can do because you're full up on inventory. So, you know, go ahead and drop off all that booty loot over here. It's that phase of the 7 Days to Die gameplay where you're totally overloaded. You got to get everything home, and yet you're under constant attack, and you're just like, I want to be done here.
Building clear.
Nothing clear right there. Okay, we'll go on over to this side and see what our little soldiers can find. I love the amount of little guys that are walking around on the map. It very much makes the game feel alive. Like, it makes the game feel as though it's, like, lived in, basically. I'm hoping we get the option to remove buildings and remove like rubble and things like that a little bit later on too, because I think the more they allow the player to kind of like reshape the map in their own image, the more fun the game will be. I'm a big fan when it comes to video games that allow maximum agency and allow the player to actually like terraform the map and make it look the way you want it to look. Like maybe not like raising and lowering hillocks and whatnot, but the ability to knock down buildings and knock down trees, which I'm assuming are going to be in there because these trees are actually gone now. I'm assuming that that's going to be a thing that's going to be implemented at some point. They found something over here, but they are full up, so unfortunately they're going to have to drop their loot back off over here too. We'll try to micromanage these little squads as much as we possibly can. How we doing on 25%, huh? That's the best that we got. Unfortunate. I wish that we were getting this done faster. Well, there goes a big 20% chunk. Hopefully it'll be done at some point. We've got 43 wood. Is this finished off over here? Yeah, that's what I like to see. We got a little bit more food from that house. You guys come over here. Since this is kind of like a danger zone where all the zombies are at, we're going to try to stay out of that region. But during the day, we are going to pick through it. I'm hoping that the loot gets better and better, like the further away from home that you are, basically. So it sets up kind of like a geolocation. Is it done? Nice. We've got 2 pistoliers inside of our tower now. Very, very nice. Okay, so you guys come back, and we're just going to set up kind of a defensive line over here. That's pretty much it. Like, find a house, get inside of it, and we're just going to make a line to defend our civilians from anything that might go wrong here. How much does this house? It's 16 people live inside of there, and we have, okay, so we are over capacity right now. We've got 13 people that need a home, so I think another thing that we should probably apply ourselves to is converting another house into a shelter. It's not going to happen till tomorrow, but once it does happen, I think everything will be all right. Here come the zombies. They are going to actually, before they were just sort of patrolling around. This time around, they're going to get more brazen, and they're actually going to hit us.
Already see some infected coming out of their lairs.
Cool.
Okay. Get ready to defend the zone.
All right, let's run a defensive op here. The gun sounds in this game, they do sound pretty good. I do feel like the characters have a requisite amount of ranged experience. So I found that I was really satisfied with the range of like small arms in this game. Like you can basically fire all the way across this gap right here from inside these locations, and that makes me happy. I like that. I was a little bit worried the first time that I played that when the zombies came creeping on in, what would end up happening there. Ooh, are they going to rotate around from the left? Oh, I've got the wrong thing selected. Let's go ahead and we'll say 0 workers on that. I did not want to convert that into housing. Well, I can't seem to figure out what the keybinds are to cancel a construction. So we'll just kind of have to live with our decisions for right now. But I've got the building suspended. Oh, gunshots. Another thing I very much like about this game is that the zombies, they die individually. So it's not like a horde that just goes like poof and disappears when the last of its HP goes down. Like each chunk of its HP represents one of these little guys right here, which I love granularity like that in games like Heroes of Might and Magic or other titles. I may pull these guys back over to here. Yeah, they're coming from a direction that I didn't particularly expect. It looks like this little batch is a little bit stuck, so that might actually buy us some breathing room. There you go. Open up on them, boys. Open up on them. Yup, give it to them. Let them find out. Okay, they actually got inside the building right there. So last time I played the game, every single attack came from the north. This time around, it does not appear as though it's functioning like that. Let's go ahead and we'll just kind of move some of these squads around. The best we can, anyways. I'm trying to run a blockade here, but I'm thinking, yeah, they are everywhere. You're not wrong about that. They're in the walls, man! Game over, man! Yeah, we're definitely going to need... Oh, no, they're inside my housing. Shoot them! Kill them! Gank them! There we go. We're almost at morning. Well, not almost at morning. We're at 2:30 right now, which is normally the time in real life that I kind of fall asleep. I go to bed at like midnight, but I've never been a good sleeper. I just like lay there and I stare at the ceiling for like hours. I don't know. Never understood what's wrong with me. I don't really drink caffeine. Pretty much gave that up. I work out every single day for at least an hour to an hour and a half. It's just one of those things where I think I'm one of those people that's wired to just sleep less than everybody else. But I'm like not brave enough to actually just stay up until I'm tired because I'm worried I'm going to oversleep like my responsibilities. And so it becomes this weird situation that I've never really been able to figure out how to resolve. Sleep and I have a strange relationship. I don't really worry about it too much, but sometimes I'm like really, really jealous, you know what I mean? Like when your entire household goes to sleep and you're like, man, everybody's out like a light. How come I'm not tired right now? I'm never tired. I'm constantly energetic. My brain is a buzz. Did you guys take any damage from when they got into the house? I don't think they actually did. So there are a number of things that I would like to accomplish today. Let's go ahead and set up a new chop zone over here. We'll go ahead and put all those trees to the torch real fast. It looks like we can actually gather bricks and stuff from right here too, so we can clear the rubble. And then the metal is apparently taking down like signposts and things of that nature. Wow, we're going through food really, really rapidly right now. Okay, we got to get on top of that. That's just not going to be sustainable. I don't care. I mean, all squads can return, I guess, but like, I don't really mind. We do need to scavenge today, though, very, very badly. If we don't bring back at least a couple, like, food supply things, we're in trouble. Oh, the zombies, they live inside the houses. Oh, okay, so it's a little bit of like an I Am Legend type situation where they hang out inside of places just like standing there vacantly and breathing heavily all day. The infection is in decline. Well, I don't know.
Operator, if we want to go any further, we need to reestablish long-range communications. We have to learn how to build a working antenna. A local library or university would be a good place to search for that knowledge.
See, and this makes for, like, so much more diverse. When it came to 911 Operator, I loved the gameplay. But 911 Operator, pretty much like everything is kind of predictable. There's going to be, like, some guy stealing. There's going to be some guy that looked guilty, but that wasn't actually guilty, and you go through a bunch of text prompts to resolve, like, once the police or once the EMTs respond to a situation. What I like about this game is that you can get really, really creative with it. Like, you can have somebody raid a library inside their hometown from satellite data for information that they need in order to build up. Like, that just adds such a personal element to the game, knowing that in the game I can go to a library to get a recipe that's actually a library or something that's like 2 blocks down from my house. Like, I really, really like that plan. It's a really cool idea. We found something over there. What did they find?
Receiving.
Oh, a bunch of ammo and a bunch of food. Is there anything else left inside of there? You guys find anything? No? Well, fine. Ripperoonies, dude. Ripperoonies. Our second housing's about to be up, which is good. I assume that access to housing determines the overall mood state of the colony. I'd like to get another tower in on the south so that I have more people guarding, and I'd love to knock some of these houses down as well so that I can get a wall that kind of encompasses just this little foot-shaped area, I guess. Nothing inside of there. Okay, you guys head on over to that side.
Hostiles inbound.
Hostiles? Where you got hostiles at? Or are they just talking about the ones? I wonder if I wipe out the ones inside of the houses if they won't come tonight. I bet, like, fighting them from like an entrenched position, though, is going to be, like, kind of a pain in the ween.
Building clear.
I would like to see some kind of, like, iconography or some kind of symbol above houses that you can either toggle or see at all times that lets you know if it's been searched or not. Like, basically like an overlay or like an outline that I can click on, and like every house that has not been searched will have a red on it, and every one that has been searched will have blue on it, and then ones that are claimed have green on it, just like this over here. Just for a little bit more of an immersive element, I guess. Have I searched everything on the south side? I have. Okay. Let's send a team out a little bit further. We're at 11:30 in the morning right now, so we still have things that we can accomplish.
On your command.
Yeah, you guys head on over to that large abandoned, like, apartment building right there, that tenement or whatever it is on the edge of town. We're going to split up a little bit. I'll probably bring them back around 4 o'clock, so we've got 4 hours to play with to see what other goodies we can drag back home with us. I am strongly inclined to make another squad. I don't feel like we had the firepower last night. I was having to shift positions too much, and it made me feel nervous. I didn't like the feeling of shifting around. How are you guys doing over here?
Operator. Clear.
Okay, nothing in there. We'll go ahead and search that building. Yeah, we've got some extra guys. Let's go ahead and make a new squad.
Report. We're ready.
That sounds like an okay thing to do. Have I searched all these buildings down here? Not really.
Clear.
I've searched some of them, but not all of
Going
them.
there.
You guys get in there.
On your command.
These guys' search is taking a long time, so I'm guessing that building size or like volume has something to do with how long it takes them to search it, because they've been searching for like 2 hours. So yeah, it's taking a bit. Apparently the sunset is going to happen at 6:57, so we'll keep that in mind as well. They found ammo. That's better than finding nothing.
On your command.
These guys are done down here. Let's go ahead and start reinforcing and making defensive positions.
On your command.
You guys are going to be responsible for the south side of town. You guys are on the north side. And you guys, if I made another squad, we have 11. We have another 12 citizens right now. I could technically make another squad because 18 of my citizens are being used up by chopping down trees over here. However, that did bring in 46 logs. And with 46 logs, nothing inside of there. Okay. You guys come back and maybe set up like over here. I just want to get like a perimeter rocking.
Another one incoming.
We got about 2 hours till things get bad. Many of our workers do not have jobs. Send them to gather resources to construct or to work at some of the buildings. Yeah,
We're gonna see.
I'm working on it. I'm making things happen. We could definitely put some people on some brick gathering, I guess. I don't know how many bricks I'm gonna need in order to have like a successful colony, but maybe. It looks like we've got raw food and things like that up here too. And I saw a cookhouse in the list of buildings that we can build, so I'm guessing you're going to be able to farm territory and things like that as well, and basically set up renewable production and things of that nature. Oh wow, 39 workers required to gather up all those bricks right there. I did not expect the bricks to be such a large-scale operation. All right, everybody back home. Yes, the giant loud klaxon. That surely won't draw the zombies to us. Okay, we got zombies over there. I may get a couple squads together and we may try to sweep them out of the western end of this little suburb over here, because that's close harvesting where we can get more buildings knocked out. And if we can just push them off the grid, I want to claim everything inside those buildings over there. What is that, like a shed or like a doghouse or something? It's kind of hard to tell. Cool game idea, though. I actually really, really, really like this demo. My enjoyment of 911 and like the emergency services operator was just that, like, in real life I don't really have much of an interest in the emergency services, but it was a cool idea. It was just on a topic that doesn't particularly grab me. This time around, you're going with zombie stuff, dude, and I have been an unabashed zombie fan since I saw the original Romero Dawn of the Dead when I was 13 years old. I've been a huge zombie fan ever since then, and I know all zombie shows and all zombie games and all zombie movies and stuff like that have like this tendency to sort of like run the exact same storylines and sort of the same tropes. But man, I don't mind in the slightest. For whatever reason, it's one of those consistent things that I've loved since I was a kid. I will more than likely continue to love it. And so you make something set in the zombie apocalypse. Like, I know people are going to complain and be like, ew, more zombie stuff, dude. But like, I don't care. Zombies are my jam. And also my peanut butter, and possibly even the bread. Yeah, it's a pretty big grouping right there. I definitely think we're going to need some more firepower. It's a good idea to leave the dead bodies on the ground, by the way. The dead zombie bodies just laying around, that's a really, really cool idea for immersion. I like that a ton. But they do despawn. They sink into the ground after a little while, but if they can figure out a way to convert those, sort of like Project Zomboid does. In Project Zomboid, all of the enemies have a 3D model. But even though they have a 3D model, the cool thing about Zomboid is when you kill something, it becomes a 2D sprite that lays on the ground, which conserves a whole bunch on performance. And so anyways, if they could figure out something like that that leaves them on the ground for like a couple of days, that would actually be a great way to introduce a new mechanic. Like, how do you get rid of all of these bodies and preserve your people, basically, without getting yourself into trouble? Because, you know, bodies cause disease and whatnot. Can I get these guys to evac? Yeah, you guys evac.
Waiting orders. On your command.
We're gonna kind of do what we got to do here, but I got a bad feeling. That was a pretty hefty wave. In fact, I enjoyed the intensity of it. Like I couldn't just leave my squads idle and not do anything. I did have to move them around, which provided like engagement. Like I felt engaged. I felt like I was having a good time. But yeah, we are gonna take our squads up north, and I think we're gonna wipe out all the zombie hives once we get up here. If that can just take pressure off of one side of the base, I think that would be ideal. When sun up? Oh, 550. Very nice. Okay, well, let's go out and get that food.
Hostiles inbound. Ready for action.
I don't know if the zombies are going to come out when I do this.
Reporting.
We're going to do our best here. Because if we don't bring back, like, considerable stipends of food, I think we're hosed. Like, we are deeply in trouble. Chief, we found some seeds in one of the buildings. It looks like grain and farming tools. Oh, nice. Cool. So the farming is actually already in the game. Very nice. Sounds awesome. I guess I probably have to send a squad in here. Can you stack up squads in the same building? For, like, breach and clear firepower? I wish I could rubber band box all these guys, too, and just grab all my squads simultaneously. There we go. Wipe them out, boys. Wipe them out. Let's go ahead and start searching some buildings. We got to bring back some cans of food. Without food, we are indelibly boned. We are in a very, very rough situation if we don't track down some goodies very soon. We got some ammo right there. We've got one food can on that side. Oh, these guys actually have health bars, so it looks like they've been actively wounded. Nothing inside that house right there.
Waiting orders. Waiting orders. On your command.
A little bit of ammo and food is not going to do it, though. We need more than that. I need this to be a very productive day. Found something? Okay, good.
Ready for action. Going there. Receiving.
As soon as you guys are done.
On your command. Receiving. Clear.
Nothing on the inside. Okay, you guys get the cul-de-sac. These guys will just go side by side down the street, then we'll kill that horde right there. I don't know how we heal people. No clue how we heal people, in fact. But we do have room for another guard tower. And I think another guard tower, sort of like in this area, sounds really, really good to me. So let's go ahead and do that. Those guys apparently found the mother lode, and they're on their way back. They've got nothing inside over here. That's okay. We got enough food to bring back a little armload, so it's going to be all right. I mean, I don't know how big these crates and whatnot are. They also have limited ammo, by the way. You can see it listed up here in the top left-hand corner, and you can custom name the squads, just in case you like to name your squads the Fart Boys or anything else like that.
Building clear.
Just in case you're a juvenile moron like me. But anyways, my name is Splattercat. This is Infection Free Zone. It takes the systems that were developed in support of 911 Operator and converts it into a zombie apocalypse. I think that's rad as hell, and the only limitation here is going to be, you know, how much depth and how many goodies they can put into the game to effectively infuse it with lots and lots of replayability to make you want to make more colonies by forcing the research tree to make you make decisions that are, you know, irreversible and like set your colony in a direction towards like different political systems like, you know, are we militarists? Are we scientists? Are we, you know, this, that, or the other? Like, how do we run our city in order to keep order in a world that has fallen apart? Getting a little bit of that Frostpunk vibe in there, like what are you willing to sacrifice in order to guarantee survival, you know? I think that's just an absolutely fantastic idea, and I'm here for it. I can't wait to play more. I very, very much want to play like the full build of this like right now. I will see you all later. Thank you for swinging on through. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what is worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we had ourselves a little bit of infection-free zone. Tomorrow, we will very likely have something else. Thank you for joining me and giving up your free time in order to take a look at some indie games. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for swinging through, and that's all I got. Bye, everybody.
Ready for action.